Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome. Now, what you are hearing in the background is me kinda getting out of my current shenanigans. Which is I was clearing out a little bit of War Thunder's 1st of April stuff that they always do. And for April 1st this year, they added World War One stuff. Like legitimate World War One things. Which is pretty cool. I have a little bit left. The problem is they're running daily tasks to unlock these vehicles, and I kinda want them. But we got the Triple Entente done, and almost got done with the German stuff today, so we can do that a little bit after stream. Now, we are gonna be doing Stationeers. And let me just kick over to the live screen. Look at that. Some Stationeers. Who could have thought? Lower down the music a little bit. And I will have the camera on here eventually. And, you know, going on my usual rant. If you are new here, welcome, welcome. The name's Iceforge. And we do a little bit of variety. We tinkered a little bit with KSP the other day. And we do some War Thunder and combat things on Fridays. And at the moment, our general weekdays is filled with Stationeers goodness. And we are going to be continuing on our Mima's save, which we are working on fully automating the furnace. And that is where we are going to be continuing on. Now, I believe we're going to need to do some food eating, some water refilling, and whichever else. So, if you found yourself here for the first time, do enjoy the ride. Welcome to the chaos, and yeah, it'll be good. It'll be fun. Probably most likely no explosions, but since we are going to be automating the furnace, there is a slight potential as the furnace has a, what do you call it, a proclivity? Clavically? I don't know English. What is this? Words. And it has a tendency to go boom for the smallest little amounts of overpressurization. Let's just call it that. Yeah, and if you are one of my regulars, welcome, welcome. You know what's going on. You know what we're gonna keep doing. And just watch the chaos in my mind unfold as we travel along here. Let's see. Where were we? Right. So pollutant kind of exploded on us. Nitrogen's growing. Welcome to Stationeers. If things don't go boom, you're doing it wrong. Our oxygen, obviously, it's crawling up there. Let's have a look at our rocket. I think it should be... Mining heads are worn out. Ooh, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. I figured they were gonna wear out on this trip, so we're just gonna head back to Silo 2 and we're gonna dump it because we are coming back with a bunch of iron and a bunch of silicon. Actually, we can hop over to the A-rings. Oh no. And then we can turn on pump gas engine. And I can flip on the camera now. I can flip on the camera when I have the camera thing unfolded. There we go. There we are. And then once we're there, we can delete these iron rocks that we almost depleted. I mean, this is, you know, we mined out almost the whole thing, right? So we want to delete that, and then we can do some scanning and see if we can get some new stuff. That is back into fashionable orbit. And then we do rocket, because we still have 63% battery. We might as well just, you know, put on the rocket scanner, grab our rings, location information, and then we do discover. We can get some discovery on those 3 deposits that are still there. And then we send the rocket home. Men lilla vän. Nej. Vilken hell. Okay, so. We are gonna need... We have housing. We have the IC-10 ship. Ooh, right. Okay. So, we're gonna need... What would be the easiest way of dealing with that? So the only alloy I'm concerned about when it comes to temperature shifts is the ones that use steel. Like stellite isn't a problem because we degas the ores prior and so on. Same thing with the wasp alloy. That's also not a problem. Now, Inconel does come in with a slight issue. It carries steel. And unlike the ores that we can degas, steel does eat heat away from the gas. Hey. Freaking cat. He's been quiet for like the last 2 hours. I turn on the stream, immediately goes freaking playtime. Yes. I started making noise and started rummaging around, and then yeah, immediately goes attention, attention. I can have your attention. Let's grab the frames down there. We're gonna need to start filling the gases for no other reason than to start testing. Grab the chutes down there as well. Gonna grab... Do I want to grab volume pump? No. Maybe we could grab volume pump, but I don't think it's gonna be necessary. Grab another cable coil just for the sake of it. Now, we've done most of the pre-prep logic. What we are missing is some type of inventory of, say, if I wanted to smelt an alloy, I need to know what resource we want to be smelting. Because we do have our target. We do have our target alloy that we want to smelt. But that is, you know, the ingot. That is not the raw material for the ingot. So we need a way to map the ore type required to smelt said ingot, which might lead us to another big ass registry list, because we do have... Where is our computer? Actually, I'm just gonna copy this out just for the sake of it, because I don't think I have... Also, let's refresh ourselves a little bit. So, in here we got a whooping like 6 lines of additional data that we could potentially use. We've got our settings, we've got our alloy types, and we have the target, the pump, the pressure. Now we basically need something that reads the target and does the same thing in here. So it checks the target rather than the setting. And this data here is the dial. And it checks the target for what we want to be smelting. And it checks a dial for the quantity of how many we want to be smelting. And then multiply that with, or doesn't even need to multiply it, but it'll then check if we have that amount of ore available. So it's essentially a duplicate of this, but we would grab... Don't know how I would want to do that. That's gonna be tricky. But in essence, it is... If I am... what is that notification? I don't know what that notification is coming from. Reasonably new as well. Steel Series maybe? Or Overwolf? I don't know. The bleepy sound, I don't recognize it. Probably like Epic or something stupid. Yeah. So when I hit that activate button, we want to also have another dial. Because here we want to have a quantity. We want to have a quantity here. So we can select how many of these we want to be smelting. Or how many I want out of them. And that's going to be in units of 50. So if I do, 1 is 50, or 1 is 50, 2 is 100, 3 and so on and so forth. And then it checks the quantity of that type multiplied by the factor of the alloy. And that then plays nice with everything else. Now we got most of that logic working here. So this guy has a inventory. So we can put in a request. That sequence up activate on it, because I don't think the vending machine itself has... Yeah, it doesn't have an internal thing, but we can do request hash. And we can do a request hash, and then this guy sends a request for a specific item whenever that is called for, which is what we are going to be doing next up. And that's also why we have this on the same data line as everything else, because we are going to put that furnace. I might want to move... I want to move all of these housings over here, just so I have them in the same place, maybe. But then again, I probably want to move the memory devices up there as well. That's gonna be... Well, actually, these are named, so that's less of a problem. Yeah. You know what, maybe I, we have a door down here? Did I bring a door? No? No door? Who is this slacker? Not even bringing doors to parties. Well, let's pop this open, and let's pop that open now that we have this here. Hey, look at that. That's a unit of gold that is lost its way. Onward to victory. So where the hell do we go out with this? Do I go floor? Or do we go upwards? We probably want to go upwards. Yeah. Or, I mean, it is supposed to go from that furnace into next furnace. Oh, you know what? Yeah, the mixture is going to be going into this first, which means the steel is not going to be as much of a problem I thought it was going to be. Because once the steel is inside the mixture with all the other ore, it'll turn into reagent mix, which is not going to have any temperature shifts. Okay, we're good. We're good. So, essentially, we're going to be looking for the total quantity in this furnace. Once it is done in this furnace, it'll pop over into this furnace. This furnace will then add the gas of the appropriate temperature. This furnace will only have a gas pipe. Do I want to run it with fuel? Yeah. I mean, it's only there to kind of ramp up our fuel. That makes sense. Do I go downwards? Do I go upwards? I probably want to go one forward. And then we go up. Because I don't want to have this in the way of anything else that's going to be coming in here. So, let's have you looking like this. That's good. Okay. So that's a little bit of a stress I don't need to have, because that's actually not a problem. I thought it was going to be an annoying issue. Well, it turns out not an issue at all. That's the good ones. That's the good ones to solve. That's the easiest ones to solve. Do we have some more shoots? Some shoots? Yes. Yes, shoots, not Schultz. There we go. So, those are all hooked up, connected. Bam, bam, bam. Let's do these as... I should have painted these before I started placing them, but that's fine. Let's go with the chicken color for the import. There we go. And I know, I could have picked them up and painted them all in one go. It's very true, but now we didn't. Okay. So, that chute system is in, that chute system is in, then we just need to rip apart this, because we also need to make sure that we have our chutes going out. Come back, pop that out. Yeah. Okay, so ores or ingots, we are gonna need another chute coming from this way with steel. The steel's a finished alloy. So we are also going to want some steel shipped our way. Also, I've gotten the Brutal Legend achievement now. Every single day we don't die. Right, so the chutes are done. And I just need to brain a little bit. Hey, Stoosh. Yeah, getting the furnace automation going. Yes, sirree, that be the case. Or at least attempting. You know, no guarantees. We're probably gonna blow the whole damn thing up, but... you know. So we've got our import chute, which is also where the vending machine here that has the ingots is gonna be sending... That's gonna need a stacker. That's gonna be some interesting logic. So that's gonna be a vending machine. It's gonna go into a stacker. It's gonna pull out the requested quantity. And then it's gonna return whatever is surplus. Yeah. That's gonna be a bit tricky. I wonder if I can use some memory. Maybe use a memory chip as a pending processing order. So, like when the vending machine sends an item, it sets the item, or it sets the memory to 1. It only sends if the memory is at 0. And then whenever something wants something, it just sets it to 1. Or sets it to 0 to reset it. I don't know. What I do know is we need more chutes. Got some here, but we need of the plenty more. We need at least, I don't know, 2 stacks. We're just gonna pop in some iron. Get those, get some more going, and then we'll recall the rocket as well, because that should have discovered some new mining sites for us. I know I saw some iron here. Shoot, 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 shoot. We really need to fix our freaking elevators and get some site capacity reached. And as soon as you have those filled up, we've got silicon, silicon, copper, silicon, gold, iron, copper, silicon, gold. Okay, so we just have the singular iron that we discovered, but that's good. That's all good. So 60%. Pop that rocket scanner off. Almost got our storage full. Our miner drill heads are broken, so we are gonna send this bad boy back to silo 2. Which is gonna be pretty solid. 200 seconds. We'll still have we'll have some fuel remaining. So that's 87 stacks, which is pretty crazy. It's gonna be a lot of gold, a lot of silicon that's coming our way, and some iron. Or sorry, not gold. A crap ton of silicon and some iron. Shoot, shoot, shoots, shoot, shoots. Another 10 shoots. Hey, look at that. Actually, can we bring some more? Let's bring some more glass panels. Grab some more steel frames. Do we need more cables? Probably, but not at the very second. Let's grab some paint spray. Yeah. That's gonna be fine. Yeah, we are gonna get very busy with coding here eventually. Gonna get this rigged up. And then we are gonna use the fuel we can push Granted, the returning rocket is gonna eat through our fuel supply. Ah, we need to do some mining as well. Let's just do this for now. Or do I want to have it return out? I mean, we do have the... No, because I do want to have it coming out here. This is also going to be a frame. Because that's going to be a wall. That might have some form of alternative information displays. We might move this button over to this side. So we have like the selector for the ore, and then we can have like a quantity of the total amount of ore or something. And then we have the dial selector for how much quantity, and then the big button. And I still haven't connected that handle to anything specifically, so there is that. And then we're gonna need to pressurize these rooms. We're gonna need to pressurize them, and we are gonna need to get a crap ton of coding involved into the actual furnace handling themselves. Which is gonna be excitable. Which actually reminds me, we don't have walls for this yet, so that's something that we're gonna have to figure out. Good coding. I don't know, what part is people more excitable about when it comes to Stationeers? Like, you know, doing the coding bits and getting things working, or the general construction design of it, or just the overall chaos and hopes for explosions. Like, what are people more interested in when it comes to just the gameplay itself, not necessarily the streams? I love seeing the different designs as well as different coding solutions. Yeah. So, that is neat. That is in order. We are gonna pop in, grab those. Let's grab our arc welder. So now that we have that chute in place, we could actually weld these two up, because that's connected. That's connected. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Actually, I don't know about that one. Well, yeah, we're fine. Because I am gonna add another chute along the entire way. But I don't know if I want to run the chute on the outside to be able to have direct control over it, which might be the case. That is gonna be that vending machine chute. The vending machine chute, that's not what I wanted to do. What am I doing? Also realized I'm gonna need more steel sheets here. Thought I had enough. Nope. Not even remotely. So, it is starting to come a little bit together. We are gonna grab that housing. We are gonna... Yeah, I think we're gonna move the... we're gonna move the scripts over. They don't have a specific housing. They're not exploiting... Well, one of them is. Yeah, but they're not... These guys are not necessarily doing stack stuff. It is the one over there. Those should be fine. Bam, bam. And then we do this here. We do this here. And then we grab you. And we put you here. Put that there. And then we do an import. And then we're gonna check what is actually on this card. Or what is on this circuit. So that is the actual furnace pressurization stuff. Okay. So. Furnace controller. Furnace control chip. And then we have this one, which is this is the what do I want to call this? So this is the
Hunger caution.
target archive. What I love most is that there are so many different ways to solve a problem. Yeah, like there are so many ways you can go about figuring out how to solve one particular problem that it's crazy. Because, you know, you can look at it and go like, well, I do it this way, and then someone else can do it. I do it the other way, and then the third one goes, I wouldn't do any of those. That's just silly. And then onwards, upwards, and you know, you can look at automating a or setting the quantity in a device, for example, for crafting, and you can do it with internal memory. You can do it with vending system. You can do it with directly coding it using the variables on the machine, and then you have, are you using stacks? Are you using the stack to do it, or are you just doing labels, or are you using relative jumps back and forth in the code? So many different ways. What did I say we had in here? Target archive. Target archive. Pressure temp. Or you know what? Let's just pressure and temperature control. There we go. That is our little devices. And then we do... Yeah, we'll just do one of these. There we go. I mean, technically we could cut that there we go. Which we also could cut here. There we go. Optimizing the cable placement, right? Because then we have this whole wall that we can expand on the circuits controls here. And then we just turn both of these bad boys on. And that should have us quite content. I mean, this also opens up for having more consoles here, if we wanted to. Cleaned it up a little bit. Okay. So think we just hook up this fuel line. Get some more steel sheets. Hook up that fuel line. And then do a little bit of manual control. So we just directly control that thing with some exhaust from the output pipe. So we can stop it from bleeding energy. And then we can crank up and just generate the amount of gas we want. Speaking of gas, we are gonna need to do some mining here, because that ship should be returning, and or have returned already, which means it is gonna drain the crap out of our poor little volatile stockpile that we have. Actually, we need the jetpack to get out of here. We did stop this thing, right? Yeah, the spinny boy is no longer spinning. Now, we do need to empty this out, and this we can actually send that to our furnace room. If we do set up a pipe for the exhaust of that thing, and we ship that stuff over in here, that'll give us a nice starter point for the gas temperature. So first off, is the rocket back yet? Rocket is back. Has arrived. So we are gonna turn the transformer on, because we need that on to be able to charge the rocket. And then we're also gonna need to charge that one. Turn it on in the open. And then we are gonna hit that switch. And then that is connected with the umbilical. It is now charging the rocket, which means it is now fueling the rocket. And as we know, hydrogen's at 16%. Now, that is gonna deplete very, very quickly now that it starts to actually charge it. So, I mean, you know the drill. It is not something that we enjoy doing too much, but it is what it is. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. How are we doing on batteries with this boy? We're fine. We're fine. We're just gonna do a restock of everything. That doesn't work. Gotta get that ground penetrating radar ship. And then we do a little trip in here. Get some water. Get some food eaten. Rock and roll. And then we are going volatile mining. And by God, I want the furnace automation complete so I can start automating farming. Yes. Oh, will that help me? That way we're taking all the carbon dioxide that we have, and we're turning a chunk of that into hydrogen as well. Hey, look at that. Plastic sheets. Who could have guessed? Now, there's some nice refilling of plastic sheets here. One could almost argue that we should do the same for the steel sheets. Except that, you know, the lack of steel. Look at that, there's a steel 100 ingot. Look at that, that's 200 steel stacks with sheets. So, onward and upward. Backwards and forwards. To the abyss. To the depths. And let us find some red. There we go, tracker is working, just checking to be sure. Pop these guys on. Could we use some nitrice? Probably. It would probably not hurt to get some nitrogen or nitrous oxide. Hey, look at that. That is our red belt of deliciousness. Just hope that it's not at bedrock. Nope. We are golden, boys. Look at that. This is the red droplets of life right here. Part of the equation in our delicious history of mankind. Now, I did talk about, you know, doing the whole liquid rocket, which is going to improve our capacity and our range significantly. I'm also kind of terrified over that prospect. Well, that had me fall down all the way to bedrock. That was entirely necessary. As for yesterday, we did some Kerbal, and I had a little bit of a poke back onto the tutorial for it, and what I figured out was one of my main issues with not being able to properly reach a good altitude once I got out into the upper atmosphere is the fact that I don't have the Terrier engine. So I only have the good, or you know, well, good. The starter ones were burning through the lower atmosphere. So I am gonna try to focus on just doing some of the on-Kerbin missions. I did sneak in a few of them. Oh, come on. We've already been here. This is where we were nabbing some freaking bedrock ore earlier. Can we at least grab a couple more? Pretty please? Yeah, we got a couple more. Look at that. At least a few more got into the bag. Yeah, so my problem was that I don't have an engine good enough to get me into orbit. I need that additional 45 research points. Now, if we would have picked the other research that I was thinking of picking, we would have been able to do the orbital stuff. It was just me being dumb. Because I should have gone with the Terrier engine. That would have allowed us to do the low, slow burns into orbit. Yeah, so that'll... Woo! That'll be remedied on the next continuation. Now, question for anyone that did participate or, you know, stuck around for me in the Kerbal Space adventure. Do you want me to run that save only on the stream? Or do I want to just kind of sneak through some general annoying missions just to get some cash reserves and whatever else. Because I did sneak one flight in, just to clear the jet engine mission that I had pending and some others, so we actually have some cash to move around with. Hey, Marograve. How are you doing? I saw you have been streaming for a good while as well. I got sidetracked on Nemo's stream, and then I was sorting food and whatnot and kind of got lost in the momentum. Otherwise I would have taken a peek in. Hope it went all right. And like I said, welcome. How are we doing on volatiles? We are almost good on volatiles. Just a little bit more, and then we can pack up our mining and go back to building that furnace automation. I just want to get us a little bit of breathing room. Hey, more of the red, delicious, explosive stuff. Ooh, that's actually a pretty solid, good deposit. And if anyone is tuning in and looking at it and go like, what on earth? This seems like some weird cheating going on here with seeing all the deposits and whatever else. And that, you could argue it, but it is also a late game tech where you have a pair of glasses that you can equip a ground penetrating radar chip that allows you to kind of see through the ground and look for what you are looking for as evident, which makes mining a lot simpler. And once you get to that stage, it is mining becomes less of a chore and more of a leisured activity when you need specific materials. For semi-automation, I've got my rocket collecting bulk materials from space, which is also part why I am burning through so much hydrogen as well. But hopefully, by the end of our furnace run, we'll start looking at some plant automation, and that will allow us to generate a whole crap ton of volatiles. Lenses off. Hey, look at that, some volatiles on the surface. Ooh. And it has been a long day today. We might just do a little bit of a shorter stream today. I'm still kind of easing into my current work-life balance parts. It's going pretty good, but it is a physical change due to the manual labor involved. Also, it being spring, so freaking temperature shifts messes with my head. Then I have some semi-infrequent headaches because of it. Which is like spring and autumn, horrible times. At least the very start of them. Hey, look at that. There is our lander. We probably should just rip that apart by now, right? Or do we want to save it as a monument to our catastrophic arrival? I do want to have a little bit of a lighting and some other stuff. I want to have that uplink. Do I want to have that uplink sideways? Can I have that sideways, or does it need to be put on the thingy? thoughts, and whichever else. So let's see how this looks now that it's been refueling. Yeah, hydrogen, empty. This is why we went mining, boys. It is all making it worth it. We are eventually gonna automate this with a silo and whichever else. It's gonna be good. Actually didn't even look at the waste pipe before I started jamming these in, and I just keep jamming them in. It'll be fine. I want the tool belt there, I want the mining belt there. Thank you. And then we just want to grab, add, get that sorted out. There we go. Yeah. Getting a ton of volatiles now in there. Chug it, chug it, chug it, chug it. Go, 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 go. Nope. Run and grab that yellow. Are we good? No more exploding pipes. No, it seemed to be fine. How are we looking at this one? Ooh, okay, okay. 1,500 liters out of 4,500. We're getting there. Once we are at that point, we are just gonna take this pipe and essentially just put a blowout valve on it. To just, you know, vent it into atmosphere. Or the vacuum of space. But that gives us a little bit of volatiles into the system. It'll keep turning it into fuel. It'll keep charging up the rocket. And once the rocket's charged up, we can send it on its merry way again. Hey, look at that. More shoots. More shoots. More shoots to me. Where did it yeet? Steel sheets? Hey, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, let's bring 2 of these stacks with us. So, yeah, that should be fine. And then that'll it'll work its way up with the hydrogen once it starts to filter through and everything. It should probably be fine. Going through the motion, going through the motion. Hey, welder, Mr. Welder, Mr. Welder. We've got a job for you. There you go, because this is gonna poop out parts. We kind of want to still have it workable. Yeah, these guys needs a liquid pipe as well. Okay, so these guys are all welded up now. Every single one along this whole thing. And then we want to grab 2 pieces of glass. Or, you know, 4 units of walls. We do have some plastic sheets. We do have, how much glass? We got glass. We got plastic sheets. Let's pop you here in case I remember something, and pop you. There we go. Some walls, a door, and we want to have walls, door, a door waltz. We do have... We not have a door here somewhere? Did I not make a bunch of doors? Could have sworn I had a bunch of doors here, but you know, oh well. Pop that copper in there, and then we need some iron. Pop that iron in there. And then we're gonna grab a door. And the reason why we're grabbing a door is because I want to use it as a rollover cover for the circuit chips. That is a door. Also, we might... Ooh. Yeah, I might have forgotten to take into consideration the fact that we need more steel. We are kind of running out of coal as well. Not great. Not of the great. Now we got charcoal there. There's no steel in that one. There's no steel in that one. We just spent a whole crap ton of steel making sheets to get our background. Hey, Atreus. Been on the physical struggle bus lately, but I can still lurk. Well, you are most appreciated. You are more than welcome to just hang around, take it easy, just, you know, sit back, relax, and enjoy the chaos. That's an oxide, that's a cobalt. Yeah, we're gonna need to smelt some more. We're gonna need to smelt some more steel. Started over again. Code just wouldn't work and I couldn't test any further without tearing down my hab. Ooh, that's rough. That is rough. But then again, sometimes it is easier to just kind of rip things out, restart, try again, and see if you can figure out what you did wrong in the first place. Or maybe what you didn't do wrong, but wasn't doing what you expected. That is also the alternative. So we don't have any steel outside of those 68 grams in there. That's annoying. We don't have any walls either. Right? We just have iron walls. Yeah, so eat the handle. Well, let's see the steel come out last. Oh. For fuck's sake. There we go. Thank you. Okay, let's see. We need 4 doors should do it. Making an extra one just in case. Yeah, that's gonna be good. That is gonna be good. I'm not gonna be able to do that much longer. Sneaking around the corner. So that is gonna be our composite window in here. And then we are gonna have a composite window on the inside. Nice. Gonna jeet that over there. And then we are gonna grab... Yeah, let's do that. Now, I don't foresee us having any problems with liquids in here. However... if it ever does come to pass, it'll cause such a freaking headache not having this set up. So we're just gonna have it available. That way, there's more places it can break if it wants to break. And then we're gonna have this door, and we are gonna use the composite rollover door, and we're gonna pop that here. That way we can hide these whenever we want to do that. Yeah. And that'll look nice with like all the other stuff in here as well. Maybe we should turn it sideways if we have more of these. We'll flip it around in such a case. And then we're just gonna slap on these little plastic sheets. And as you can tell, we placed them inverted on the inside, so we see that little white frame on the inside as well. And then bam. But Forge, what about the controls? It's not it's not leaning into it. That's the entire purpose. Like, yeah, you could glitch your way through it and toggle it or whatever, but the whole point is to have it fully automated so we don't have to touch these controls. It should not need to be touched at all. We want to have it automatically adjusted based on the gases gets flown in, the what have yous and everything else. Now, arguably, first furnace could do with the manual control. But on the other hand, do we want to do an output? I mean, we're gonna need to do this. Because my thinking is using this furnace right now to refill. So we just crank up the temperature, like we use the fuel line as is, and we just crank up the gas, see what we end up in, and then we could leave the gas in the furnace just to have it drop the temperature range. But I don't know. This should be on. So this furnace is intended to always have a tank. Probably want to put that tank like over here. Or we just put it at the very end or something. I don't know. I have a tank that has a 110 degree gas in it. So it always has enough temperature to process whatever comes into it. If the temperature goes below that, it sends the gas out and it recycles it and it raises the temperature. That way we don't need a lot of gas in it, right? We just need some gas in it. Because anything and everything that we want to process is going to go through this furnace first, which means it's going to always be exceeding the gas quantity. And it is always going to be generating gas in the case of we're inputting manual stuff. Right, so that's most of the construction done. Now we just need to actually sit down, think about how we want to be coating it. And then we want to start filling up the gas pipes. And then it's going to be starting to actually test out what we can do with it. Prior to that, I'm going to grab BioBreak and I'm going to do some drink refilling and everything else. So you need a minute to stretch and do whatnot. Take the opportunity to do this, and I will be back in a few minutes. Actually, you know what? We can run up to the hab and drop our suit and get our hygiene back up while I am AFKing. So let's just do that a little bit quickly. We're fine. There we go. Now actually AFK. There we go. Oh, so coming online, coming online. There we go. We are back, we are back, we are back. Now, I had a little thinking. Which is never a good thing, because I only come up with silly things. That is kind of interesting. Right? So, what if we do a little bit of an improvement? Like right now, we're using the greenhouse as our hab slash, our general living quarters, if you will. Which is not great. Because, we're slacking on getting hygiene back up and all of these other little pesky things. Pollutants at 0. That's not great. Hydrogen is coming back up. That is nice. Oxygen is stabilizing a little bit, so that means the rocket is probably refueled by now. Anywho. Also, this battery supply that we overbuilt like crazy actually worked out pretty well with the power generation that we have. I'm actually surprised on how well these two, the two Stirling engines that we had was doing. Like, they were doing remarkably well for a long period of time. And once again, we're not. That is our only power generation, right? We're not generating any other power. Than what we are. What we're gaining from creating water. Yeah, so the pollutants are fine. The pollutants are actually pretty solidly converting. We just need to be careful to not overfill the actual liquid pipe. Because that would be a disaster, right? But we still have, 3,000 liters to go. So over our 260 days, we've generated that 1,500 liters. We've got enough to do like another 400 days or something before that becomes a problem. But power situation is fairly stable until we start, adding more shit. But even then, we do have the gas fuel generator. We just need to figure out a little bit more sustainable cooling for it, and it'll be fine. That's where our flat walls went. Oh well, oh well. But yeah, I mean, this is working out pretty nicely. Now, the only thing we need to have is a generative volatile, because that is really gonna be the kicker in it. Where were we? Furnace room. Actually getting gas in there, which terrifies me at the thought, because that means it's real. Like, once we start filling tanks, that's a scary place. That's a very, very scary place. But it is going to be magnificent if it works. So we want to connect these up. There we go. And then we want to do... Yeah, because these guys can be... These guys can still be overridden, and or they're not actually defaulting settings so I can actually manually use them. The first thing we are going to do is we're going to set them to 0 volume by default. And then we are going to grab, we're going to turn you guys on. And we're going to turn you guys on. Now, I'm almost tempted at putting in a regular PC in here, just to connect it up, just so I can have, you know, an actual thingy. Right. So this guy is setting all the pressures and everything, and that is golden. And then we do the actual furnace control. And that's currently not activating at all. It is... it has the button. And the button do activate and start the smelting procedure. And that should be toggling the pumps and starting to set all the things in order. Then it'll pressurize the room and everything else. So, all we need to do is slap on the glass in the back of that. And that furnace should be ready to take any type of alloy. Like this thing should be ready to go now. It doesn't know what ore to take as an alloy, but if it gets told to smelt a thing, it's gonna start doing its cycle. Which is why we want to start processing some gas to get that temperature up. Which actually reminds me that we had some gas here. That's what I wanted the volume pumps for. Because we got this bad boy. And this bad boy has spicy hot gas in it. Now it's got hot gas. I wouldn't know what to do with at the moment. However, we have a need for spicy hot gas. This is a pipe that's gonna get dismantled. Which is why we're building it in the middle. Because it is intentionally gonna be in the way slightly. Because it is gonna be dismantled. And that is gonna be our temporary way of transferring gas without hauling around a bunch of canisters and everything else. Now, just because it's gonna be in the way most of it, doesn't mean it needs to be in the way all of it. And we are gonna need more of these pipes. But... There we go. So, dump that liquid pipe here as well. So we're gonna need more steel. And the way we are gonna do that is a little bit encumbersome now that we have these guys. So we are just gonna sheet a little bit, rip those things out, and we're gonna do our... Where's our iron? And why do we have so much gold in here? This guy was working. That's 38 stacks of gold. God damn it. I could have sworn that thing was working as a freaking charm earlier. What the hell broke? What do you got? Is it popping in more gold? It is trying to pop in more gold. Why is it trying to pop in more gold? What the hell? Or is it yanking the silo handle prior to it getting verified? We're gonna need to start to debug this crap again. Thought I was done with it. Okay. Import. Okay, so the only place that we are handling quantity, sum, whichever, is here. Which is inside export ore. And the only time we should get into export ore is if we need, like if the ore target and the count is less, which is impossible. Like what the actual frick? Don't you gold me here. There are 24 stacks of gold in here. Yeah, see, it does pop. It does pop the handle for gold. Even though it's wildly out of range. Okay, well, you know what? Basic debugging. Let's grab the tablet. Let's grab this freaking LED display again. Five buffer. Okay, so let's do R10. We are applying a clear DB inside. We can. I mean, we ought to reset it. Maybe not 0 being the best choice. Yes, I know I messed up 4 there. Don't worry about it. Just want to debug it. Okay, so that's a -1 on the gold. Did we forget the catch for the negative? Less than or equal to 0, we should skip. So why the hell? Am I missing something here? The silo was working fine the other day. Why is it being such a pain in the ass today? I don't get it. I mean, I can see the R1 or the R10 going into -1, but we are catching it with a if it's less than or equal to 0. -1 is less than 0. Am I right? It doesn't make heads or tails for me. Because, like I said, the only time we should be going into export ore is do we need a yield in between here, maybe? Because the count works. The iterative counting works. It's just not skipping. I don't know. I honestly don't know. That should have been our catch it for any negative values. And what is our... Because this is... If the export count is less than the actual count, yeah, because R10 is the quantity that we're missing. And we only need to set it once because we set it with like 5. And that should be fine. But even so, we should only enter export ore in case R10, as in the value for the ore target count, is not in the negative. Well, figured out. Did you figure out your local problem, or did you figure out my problem, or are you telling me to figure out my problem? God dang it. Well, that's freaking annoying. Telling you to figure it out. Yeah. Would it be possible to select a stack of a type? So I could actually tell which one it is cycling through. I do have a feeling that it's that negative value that is causing a problem. It doesn't make any sense though. Bam, bam, bam. Not what I wanted to do today. I wanted to have that vending code was supposed to be done. And I wanted to only work on the actual smelting things, and I wanted to chuck in our first queue order for nope. That's not the one we want. It's freaking ejecting. Yeah, it is definitely forcing this thing open. Yeah, so something is definitely wonky. I think it's the iron ore that's minus. Okay, so something is significantly broken. And that breakage only seems relative to gold. Now, I don't know if any of the other ores are also causing this issue. One option would be to have a separate vending machine for each silo. Yeah, I would probably just go with a stacker in that case. Because a stacker will do the same thing, and you can do the reason why I want the vending machine as a filtration unit is because I can use request hash. That's the main reason I want to use it, because I can just put a request hash on a memory card and it can read the memory card. And then Bob's your uncle. Now, I don't understand why gold is being seen differently. Like, why is the iron working, but the gold isn't working? There's nothing different in between the two. It's using... No, it's not. Stationeers, you've got the silo iron ore here, which is that hash. You've got the gold hash here. But for some reason, when it wants to request gold, it is requesting way too much. Now, and as we can see, like there is something that causes gold to go into export. I'm tempted to do the opposite. So I'm curious whether or not it's this R10 that's causing a problem. Because basically, if we reach R10, no, let's just put in a yield here. If we reach here, if it's less or equal to 0, it should go into skip. And skip should just jump down here, lock the silo, hit the next stack, once we hit the next stack, it overrides the local values, moves the count to 0, moves the index to 1, sets the index to 2, looks at the occupant hash of the index value, summarize it, checks for if the selected type is, if the item in the index value slot for the vending machine is, it grabs that hash value, sets it here. If it's equal to whatever we have as a selected type, which is the hash value for the item, it sets this to a 1, and it adds the count to 1, or it adds a 0. It then runs through this loop until it is gone over all the slots in the machine. Now, like I said, this works for iron, but it doesn't work for gold, yet it's applying the exact same logic to both of them. My mind is blown. I don't understand why it's doing this. And I'm not entirely sure where I could add some logic to let's do a yield here, and let's do our SD debug LED setting count, and let's look at the count. Skip that, skip that. Bam. Now I'm tempted. Do we have another memory? We do not. Now this should be 0 for the most of the time. Actually, it actually broke it. It actually broke it. Don't know how that broke it. But apparently, setting a yield in here. How the hell did that break it? Yeah, it goes into that first stack. Okay. So what the hell happened here? Okay, so if we just comment these two out, right? Does this work? Is it something to do with the LED in the middle there? Nope, it runs. So somehow, setting the LED count, or setting the updating an LED You working now? It seems to work now. See? There we have a 7. So every time it blinks yellow there, right? It changes out the type that we're calculating. So it counts 7. And it doesn't count the gold. Do I have the wrong freaking hash value for the gold? Is that how simple this is gonna be? I have a gold ingot hash value rather than... Yeah. Swear to God. 1, 3, 4. Swear to God. Is that hash value the gold ingots? No, it is not. Oh, because it is missing a negative freaking value. Okay. Let's just go over the other ones just for sanity's sake. Yeah, we were missing other here as well. We would have had problems with the copper, gold's fine, coal. Coal is fine. Silver looks fine. I love when it's stupid problems like this. That would also have been a problem because that was not the correct for lead. And this is why we copy paste directly here. I don't know why the values copied over from the notepad was so wildly wrong, but now I know they're wrong, so we can avoid that. So the code works. I was just too dumb to copy paste properly. There we go. Okay, so we're just gonna leave that in there. Right? We're gonna grab that. Put that in there. Export. Bam. Yeah, there we go. There's a 39. Oh, okay, we finally got it. I don't know why the gold was behaving properly for a while at least. But we solved our problem. We have figured out what was going wrong. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so now we've got that sorted out. It shouldn't be pulling the freaking gold handle for no reason. Although, you know, arguably it had plenty of reasons. It had a whooping of all the reasons. There we go. And we just have a couple more stacks to clear out. And that is the gold reset. What was the issue? I had messed up on copy pasting. So it wasn't an issue of the code works fine. It was me just not having put in the proper hash values for the ores, which meant that the gold was always summing up as 0 because it was using a hash value that was invalid. So now that it has its proper hash value, it is properly summarizing the quantity that is inside the device. You just need to empty it to reset it. Why the hell is iron causing a fucking problem now then? Don't tell me we messed up iron. No, iron is fine. I think it might have been... Yeah, I think it's just the discrepancy of us grabbing a whole bunch of iron while it's trying to add more. Which is why I have it set to 6, because it does have a error margin of like 4 units that it can do. As I was saying, like, it would be more accurate that to use stackers instead. To do this, like if we had a stacker on the output as well, right? We would call the stacker and go activate, and that would send 1 unit. Because you would have that stacker, and you would put it into logic mode, and that would disable the automatic functionality for it, so it would only ever export when you hit that activate. Now, unfortunately, there is no such thing for silos. It does have a mode 0 and 1, but it doesn't actually do anything. It also has an activate parameter, but it doesn't actually do anything. Now, we got to smelt some steel. Some steelio. Steelio. That's these guys over in here. Actually, it reminds me. Look at this. There's 80 units of stuff in here. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-bum-bum-bum. Could we perhaps do something fun with this? Well, well, well. If it isn't low enough pressure in the pipe network on the output. So, what do you say? Close the hatch. Pop the ship, put it back in so it's reset. We've got the handles down on 0. And just hit go, go, go. Purify my little ore. And then we just let it run. And it'll turn itself on, and it'll run up to the delicious quantity of 1200 RPM, and we're getting more fuel, which is pretty nice. And while that is doing that, we are gonna run up and get some more steel smelted. We are gonna do... we're gonna start manufacturing a whole crap ton of pipes. That's where the shit's at. And we're gonna do that using our shitty furnace. Which we forgot to actually empty out. Running at 283 Celsius. Which is not really the temperature you want to be using when you want to smelt steel. Right, while that is emptying out, we need to figure out our coal situation. Because steel requires coal. And steel requires a lot of coal. So we need 50 units per stack. Did I use the stacker behind me? Did I use the stacker behind me? No. So that is coal. That is charcoal. That is 47. That's... Put you here. 1, 2, 3. And that's about the coal we have. So we are just going to ditch off those. And that is going to be the carbon we need to run these 3 sets of steel stacks. Which once again proves my point of I need to get that automatic farming going. Because I need coal. I don't want to be running around chasing coal. I want to be growing it. Literally. And growing and making coal would also gain me volatiles. In a decent capacity. Which would also allow us to do an automatic shower. Which I really want to do. So without further ado, we are just gonna pop these guys in here.
Hydration critical.
Now it shouldn't matter that it's carbon and hydrocarbon. It should still make steel. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be very sad. In my head, it shouldn't matter. I mean, worst case, we'll have to, I don't know, we'll flip on the freaking electric centrifuge or something. That is our 450 iron. And then we just crank up our fuel intake. And then that goes above. And... oh. I guess we are kind of boned. It does differentiate carbon versus hydrocarbon, which is freaking stupid. Still carbon, both of them are carbon, but I guess internally in recipe management it's just it's going off. This is using coal and this is using, or this is using hydrocarbon and this is using regular carbon. And go can't mix them. Well, that fucking sucks. Do I just wanna chuck him in there? Yeah, the electric freaking one takes forever, and you know what? You know what? Water under the bridge. We're just gonna go out and do some freaking coal mining. Don't even care at this point. Just annoyed. Well, we tested. It didn't work. Now we know it doesn't work. Have you found any use for the flags? Finding your way back in early game. They are great for doing longer treks mining explorations. Just pick a direction, honk down flags, as you get like medium distance from the flag. Yeah, breadcrumbing. Which is a great term for it. I just never remember it. But yeah, that way, you know, if you run into a flag, you can find your way back. Outside of that, no. Okay, food refill. Get some more iron. Get some coal. I'm not even gonna argue with this gold. Just send it away. One iron, 2 iron, 3 iron. One iron, 2 iron, and 3 iron. So, you know, the vending machine is... It's only carrying 6 stacks of each. So, you know, if you're doing a bulk order, obviously, that's not going to be enough. That's not going to be nearly enough. However, the point of it is to automatically refill whatever is being spent. So, by the end of this, it should be automated. To the point where it doesn't matter if it's only doing a couple of stacks per smelt order, because it shouldn't be depleting, you know, 1,000 units in one go. It should just, you know, refill as it's consumed throughout. Which is why I'm not too worried about the pace of things as it's running. And have we gotten as much done yet as I wanted? No. I wanted to be filling freaking gases by now. But instead we have to mess around with freaking gold. Right. Put you on. Mining. Mining. And now we are just chasing carbon. We're just chasing those delicious seeds in the ground. The black ones that we can see here. Hey, look at that. Almost like I'm mining steel right here. Some iron, some copper, some coal. Iron, some coal, some more coal. Some more iron, some more coal. Okay, and then we had a bunch more coal down here. Hello, Mr. Cole. How are you doing? Okay, so that's our first stack. And that's our second stack. But that is good to know that you cannot mix carbon with hydrocarbon because it counts as a completely separate resource. And I figured it, but it's good to have the confirmation that that is the case. Handle is out. We're gonna put that up. Not as much steel as I would have liked, but you know, we make do. We make do. Ooh, that's a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure indeed. Get rid of that pressure. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Get it out of here. And once we get to process all of that, we are good to go. We are good to go. Look at that. Steel. Bam. On order. Then we just empty that thing. Pop that in there. Grab 2 pieces. Shove that in there. And that is going to be used to turn into some delicious taps. Hey, look at that, some iron. Ooh. Okay, let's have a look at our gases as well since we're in here. Hydrogen, 20%. Ooh, water has gained another percentage. Or percentile? Nice, nice. Very nice. Nitrogen is slowly crawling upwards. As mentioned, once we do have a ample supply of nitrogen, we can start using that as our jetpack fuel instead of carbon dioxide. Look at that, some insulated pipes. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Steel there. So, what do we have left down here to do? We need to connect the fuel up. We need to connect this spicy ass hot gas up. We're just gonna run this bad boy straight over the freaking Himalayas here. And that is gonna be pretty freaking good. I don't know how much gas that is actually gonna turn into in pressure wise, but I mean it's almost 1,000 moles. It's gonna be what? Five, 6 MPa maybe? It's not even gonna be that. It's gonna be like 1,000 MPa or something stupid. But yeah, so I want to hook it up here. And I want to program that active sensor to turn on. Because that is going to be... It's going to be our go-to. Like, we're going to be adding... for the percentages, do you get the volume property of the tank and divide it by 60,000? I am actually adding a safety level on it, so I'm actually just doing half of it. So by the time that is 100%, it is actually doing... it's actually just 30,000 MPa. So I do have, like, once it's past 100%, I still have, you know, another up to 200% leeway before it actually explodes. So I have it go... It goes up to green at 100%, and then it starts going red when it passes over like 125 or something, I think it is. That's kind of the safety layer for it. Now, the exception is the nitrous oxide, because the right now I'm using the gas tank value for it. But I'm not going to be using the gas value for it. I am going to be using the liquid value for it, because I'm going to be storing the majority of it as a liquid, or as a forced liquid. And then I'm just going to keep it cool. And then I will pressurize. Holy smokes, I do apologize for the yawning. It's like I said, it's been a long day. I'll just... Hell, okay. Grab it. Like I pocketed the freaking pipes. I'll store it as a liquid, and then I will extract some liquid into a gas pipe when I need it. Put the pipe up here. Get this in here. This is my pipe of hot gas. This is the pipe of very hot gas. It is an extremely hot gas. Coming in at a whooping... Bam, 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 bam. Coming in at 5,000 freaking degrees. There we go. So that is gonna be to our pump A, which is gonna be this guy. We're just gonna do a nom 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 nom. Can we grab gas? Oh yeah, not actually pumping any actual. Now, as you can tell, we've got some volatiles, we got some nitrous oxide here, and whatever. That doesn't matter. because what we are using this gas for is we are keeping this gas extremely hot. Which means it doesn't matter, because as long as it's in this temperature range, it's not gonna phase shift at all. And now we have a way of, for the time being, yeah, we drain this whole network and we get up to like 5 MPa or something. Now, if I want to test this out, right? I'm gonna have to do some spicy stuff. No, but essentially, once we filled, once the pipe is empty, I'm going to try to tell it to smelt, I tell it to smelt any of the basic materials. And that should turn on the furnace, pulling gas into the furnace, fill the room with gas, set the active vent, get all of the readings, and kind of prime it so it's ready to smelt. So we get the pressure in the tank, we get the temperature in the room, and we get all of that good stuff. And that's something that we are going to be able to test once we've extracted some of this, because I think it's going to be enough gas in this tank to actually fill up the furnace, because the furnace doesn't actually take a whole lot of volume to fill up the pressure. I think we're just gonna do that, and then we're just gonna cut that pipe here. And my stomach is absolutely freaking rumbling again, so I will need to take another bio break here soon. Let's see if we nab everything that's inside this pipe, and then we hit the switch, and if everything works properly, it's gonna be fine. If it doesn't, things are gonna go absolutely exploding. I'm hoping that everything will be fine. But at the same time, it would be kind of neat to have an explosion as well. So, I just empty out this pipe. Because that should also set the mode and the pressure on the pump. So we are gonna save this as day 2, what was it? Day 268. Day 268. Furnace test 1. Right, so it's not gonna smelt anything. It's not gonna receive items. But we are gonna select basically just iron or copper. Either way, it sets the pressure, it sets the hash target, and it says that it sets the selected pump. So that is the pump that is gonna turn on, and then See? That thing worked. It is doing its thing. I think it's in the correct mode as well. Did it properly turn on? Yeah, it properly turned on this pump. It set the volume. But it didn't change the direction. Or did it set the wrong direction? Yeah, I think I might. I think I may have. I think I may have mixed up the modes. Furnace control ship. Damn it. Okay, we're. No, we're not fine. Oh, damn it. Well, you know what? We are gonna. We're just gonna load the furnace test. Because I did an oopsie on overriding the code. And I don't have it saved out into a notepad in the updated format. So that's how that can go as well. I was gonna hit import, hit export, add the wrong code selected. Well, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's grab the furnace control ship, hit import. And then edit. And that is in the order we're supposed to do things. So, toggle pump. I think I might have, yeah, because we set the room. Right, yeah, because I built that generic function for the pump, but I forgot to actually set the pump mode. Which I actually put down in a notepad. Mode 0 into furnace, mode 1 into tank storage. So here, we want to put it to mode 0, because that is putting it into the system. Actually, we want to, prior to us toggling the pump. So why are we toggling the pump? Oh yeah, because we're looping toggling the pump. Right. That makes sense. But either way, mode 0, fill, activate, and then mode 1. Yeah, so we set it on the exit, but we didn't set it on the input. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's save this back up again. Now, let us hit the copper bar and hit activate. Dun, 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 dun. So once it hits 5 MPa, the pump should turn off. It does. And it should flicker / toggle as the gas is being extracted and pulled into the devices. Look at that. Now the temperature is decreasing. I do not like that. I don't know why it's doing it. Because the pressure in the room, it shouldn't be differentiating with it having a gas that is of the same quality. Also, can someone explain to me why the 5,000 degree gas that goes into the furnace is 1,000 degrees? Like, am I deleting heat? Is that why it's decreasing? If someone does have an answer on this, feel free to explain the finite details of it. Well, the room has pressure. It shouldn't be radiating that much. That's the whole point of having it sealed. Right? It's completely inside its own housing. And there's gas in the room. Because it's clearly radiating a craptastic amount of heat. Did I forget to build the floor? But that shouldn't be an issue. As far as I understand the thermal handling in this game, right? If a furnace is inside a gas-filled room, it should not radiate unless there is a temperature differential between the gas in the room and the furnace. So how the hell is it radiating that much? Or is it the glass? Is the glass causing it to do some shenanigans? Which, I mean, I can't... I mean, I can tell that it's radiating like crazy. Yeah, the gas. Yeah, something went wonky with the gas in here. Because one, there's only CO2 in here. Okay. So that didn't work. Let's do some quick. I mean, it's fucking weird. Now, I don't have a pipe analyzer, or I don't have a display for the temperature in there. I probably should have a display for the room temperature and pressure. We're gonna need 2 more gas cards. Unless, of course, I just do them programmatically and run them with LED screens. Works too. Don't want to have them that way. You know what? They're here for debugging purposes. We can have them look pretty once I figure out how I want to handle it. But at the moment, we just need the data. And how are we gonna grab that data? Well, we are gonna grab clear. Because I have a feeling that it is not waiting for the room to fill up with gas. Because it should have been more gas in the room. Gas sensor. I think it might be the gas sensor's issue. Let's just do a main field. Define LED. Let's just run these on names. I don't want to bother. Define hash. Pressure. And then we do temp LED. Press LED. And then we just do, what did we call them? We called them room pressure, room temperature. Then we just do sensor R0 sensor pressure, R1 sensor temperature, and SPN is what we're looking for, and then we do press LED LED setting, and the pressure is gonna be R0, temp LED, and that's gonna be R1, and that's gonna be room pressure, and that's gonna be room temperature. Okay, there we go. So that should be a quick little display. First off, we want to do the temperature. R1. It's gonna be minus 273. Do we get actual Celsius? And pressure. We just round up. There we go. That doesn't seem right. There is something very, very wonky in this room. Where is it? Yeah, that output can definitely the output on the furnace needs to go up. Like that needs to be cranked up to freaking top. That's 23 degrees. Why the hell is... Which sensor is this? Is it the wrong sensor? Is it this sensor? A 590. Nope. It should be the sensor in the room. And if we grab the temperature that we have and we subtract 273, that should give us the Celsius value. But that is that the pressure? Okay, that is fucking weird. You know what? We're just gonna jank the glass off here. Yeah, so whatever we were getting reading wise, that made no sense. We didn't forget to weld anything. swear to God, is it the freaking ground? Like, I wouldn't put it past it that it's the freaking rock. So all the cables are insulated, all the pipes are insulated. Liquid pipe is insulated. These guys are insulated. The chutes aren't affecting temperature. Yeah, so we definitely need to increase the speed on this. So test 2. I'm gonna grab that furnace controller, import it. Now, when we start it, we want to do error, and that's gonna put us into empty furnace. At the moment. So when we first get into the program, right? We get into the main bulk of it. It starts reading the values, which is our target, our pressure, our pump. And then it's gonna go in case we try to start smelting, it'll read the room sensor, the alloy furnace, and the analyzer and check if there is pressure inside any of them. If there is, it throws an error. And if it throws an error, it goes down here just so we have somewhere to put it. And we go into empty furnace, because then we can just go here. It'll empty everything out. Now this can probably be set to freaking 50. This can be set to 15. $75. So, in our filled room, we set our pump. We toggle the pump. We set the mode, so we have it pushing inwards. We set the pressure external, so it's pushing inward, and the safety 75 kPa. We turn the vent on. We read the pressure sensor. If it's less than 70, we keep filling the room. Once it's above 70 kPa, room should be fine. Now, what I was doing on Europa, I was just having like 30 kPa worth of gas in the room the furnace was sitting, and it was working fine. Once there is gas in the room, it should start filling the furnace. Once it's done and the furnace is actually empty, there's no reagents inside of it, it goes into empty furnace mode. So if I actually try to hit it right now, okay, yeah, you can see this is the room pressure. So that temperature, like it was 2,500 degrees, and the furnace is eating the... Why is both the input and the output on? The furnace is eating temperature. Oh, you know what? It might be because of that. I swear to God. I did this freaking bug on the other furnace, if people remember it. When you have the inputs and the output, and the furnace just deletes temperature. And I think it should be self-solvable in this situation if I just have pipe valves that specify input and output just adjacent to it.
Hunger critical.
Yeah. You can be hunger critical. Input is in here. And that is our output. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it hasn't exploded yet. Like, there is something with the designation. Also, where the hell did I get rid of my data pad? Did I toss it on the floor here somewhere? Yeah. Yeah, see? There's no radiation difference now.
Hydration critical.
It doesn't shift the temperature anymore. So that is a clear, distinct bug that is happening. That is the furnace emptied out. That is the room emptied out. And we are ready to go again. Now, I should probably have an LED light that goes from like red to green to indicate that the furnace is ready to be used again. So our third attempt. What is the temperature down at now? 3,800. So let's see if this works better. Let's save this up. Furnace test 3. And let's hit our smelt button. that is not in the right mode. Is that because there's still gas in the pipe? Is that because the pipe is not connected? I don't know what state it is in now, but it's probably bugged out. There we go. Yeah, see? Or is that thing still radiating? Like you saw, the room was filled at 4,000. It's pumping in 4,000 degree gas into the furnace. Yet is it because the furnace can only take a certain temperature? I mean, we'll see once. Yeah. I'm just gonna grab a screenshot of this and I don't know. I honestly don't know why this is not working. It should work for all intents and purposes. As far as I understand the thermodynamic freaking sharing here, this should work. I'm gonna post it on the Stationeers Discord. Oh, okay. So, I made a post on the Stationeers Discord before I forget it. But that is just weird. We need to refill food and water, and we need to get some hygiene back up. But before we do that, we're just gonna jump down here, make sure that Spinny Boy is spinning. Spinny Boy is spinning. Look at that. It's looking fine. It is going onward. There we go. Okay, so sorry, I got a little bit. I did get some pointers, and the most likely culprit is simply there's not enough pressure in the So upping the pressure to 150, 175 should solve my problem. I just don't have enough pressure in the room to prevent the heat leakage. That should solve my problem. Well, that did not, in fact, solve my problem. I am losing my brain. That is... Okay, so it is... The hell is going on here? Okay, so something is definitely bugging out in the code as well, because... Or is it because it's very, very little pressure left? Yeah, it's... We haven't reached... We haven't emptied it out completely yet. That part works. That part freaking works. Okay, well, you know what? I need a brain on this. I also need another bathroom break, so I will be right back. And if once again, if someone has an idea on why this hotbox is failing horribly, let me know, because it feels like it shouldn't. I don't know if the consoles are making it bleed through. I don't know. I just something needs to be sorted out because it's clearly not working. I'm tempted to just rip the glass, toss it behind a regular wall, see if the glass is what's causing the problem, or you know what the hell is going on. Anyway, I'll be right back. There we go. Yeah, so I got some further tips. And it's essentially because of the higher temperature, I need a higher pressure, a significantly higher pressure. I might have to forgo the glass windows. Although the reinforced windows does take 8 MPa. I could just slap on some resistant to pressure differentials up to 1 MPa. But they do take up to 8,000. So we are doing some last adjustment for that wall, just to test and see if that works, and then we're probably gonna start hopping off. Reinforced walls, which is gonna take some astroloy, and we do have a whooping 3 grams, which sucks because I need one more. The hell? My astroloy, my astroloy. Copper, steel, cobalt. How much? 50 copper. We do that. And then we do this. Bam. Bam. And then what did it say? Cobalt. Yeah, cobalt. We got our cobalt backpack right here. What are we looking at? 30 to 40 MPa. Don't want to just cram in fuel for it, but although that was a moderate chunk. That might push us up. just need... We had some stellite here, right? Yeah. And then we need some silicon. Bam. Bam. See if we are up at pressure now. Almost. There we go. Astroloy. And bam. And then we do one reinforced wall. And the reason why we're doing reinforced walls is because, well, the pressure we need is far exceeding the safe pressure of regular windows. But on the radiation, like the you know, making it a short story is essentially the higher the temperature, the higher the pressure you need to have it not radiate heat. So that 3000 degrees gas would probably have equalized at like 900 Celsius or 1000 Celsius on that pressure. To have it do more, we need to have it at a higher pressure. So I'm thinking like do like 400 kPa in there. But to do that, the regular glass safety level is at 200 kPa. So we want to do reinforced walls instead and use that glass, which is, it's not as pretty, I will admit. It is not going to be as pretty. But the whole point of the whole point of this thing is I wanted to have the see-through view of it, right? If I can't have the see-through view, I'm gonna be sad. So we opt for the higher degree glass instead. Let's grab angle grinders. We can get rid of that window. So we can use this guy instead. I don't want the padded one. I want the composite one. Do I want the thin wall? Ooh, that's a... Okay, so let's see. We do this, right? Let's see how this looks. Because I need to know how this is pairing up next to one another. Okay, that'll be fine as long as we rotate it. If we do it that way, right? There we go. That'll work fine. And then we have the flat surface one and whatever else. So what do you need? You need the stellite glass, right? There we go. Look at that. Now it's not as pretty because it's reinforced and it's like this mega freaking concrete thing. But it works. Because the whole point is having that see-through capacity so we can see the pipes in behind. It's a small detail, but I want it. Right, so do that. Do this here. And then we up this pressure to the 400. $450. We do 400 kPa. Now, export. It's gonna be harder to deal with it or to test it because we're still 3,000 degrees in here. Okay, we should be fine. So, let's try this out. So, as per, that is the pressure in the room. That is the temperature in the room. Once that hits 400, yeah, we're looking good. Yep, that held temperature. Awesome. Okay. We're going to be happy with that. So I'm just going to rush up before the waste tank is full. Hop into the hab. Drop my suit. Refill food and water. And that is one step closer to being able to do smelting. Or, you know, to do fully automated smelting. So that means we now have our basic smelting ore types is completely doable. We just need to set up the import to the other furnace and have it pass on into the smelting furnace, the actual smelting furnace. So it's gonna be a little bit of a tall order to get that sorted out, but we do have the furnace working automatically in filling up the gas with the right type and then emptying it out and putting it back in the right place. So now we just need to add more gas to that tank so it can hit the pressures that we want. Anywho, as per usual, now we are on a Tuesday, coming up on Wednesday, so there's not going to be a stream tomorrow. But we are going to continue this on Thursday. So I hope to see most of you there. And continue on with this furnace automation madness. And we're just going to find someone to raid as well, if we can. Same category. Do we have someone? Fuldoma's rolling around in his greenhouse. We can pop in and give him a visit. But yeah, as per usual, you can find me in my schedule in the About page and, well, the schedule. And yeah, some more Stationeers on Thursday and then some War Thunder on Friday. If you do want to get into contact with me, you can find me on my Discord, which is probably the more easiest place to find me at. Do a Discord thing there. And yeah, as always, you all have been an absolute blast, and I hope to see you again. And for the time being, I wish you all a good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. And we're gonna pop into Fuldoma, and yeah. So on my end, I will say good night and catch you later.